Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're taking a look at the brand new Warhammer 40,000 rules for the Tempestus Aquilons and the Vespid Stingwings. This video is sponsored by CMO Games. More on that later. Alright, so we got the brand new Kill Team Hivestorm box has come out, and along to go with it, we've got not only the actual datasheet cards or rules for Warhammer 40,000 for the two new units, but also the updated points costs or new points costs accordingly. So getting started here with the Tempestus Aquilons. So typical guard datasheet, you're going to have move 6, T3, save 4+, wound 1, leadership 7, and OC 1. Core abilities, they have deep strike and then also the precision drop, and this is absolutely amazing. When this unit is set up on the battlefield using the deep strike ability, it can perform a precision drop. If it does, this unit can be set up anywhere on the battlefield that is more than 3 horizontally away from all enemy units, but until the end of the turn, it's not eligible to declare a charge. So this is one of the best abilities in the game. Obviously, these guys really aren't designed to be charging. You're going to have 10 of them in a unit. They're primarily a shooting unit. And the best part about the outside 3-inch drop means it's very, very difficult to screen these out. So with the exception of things like the infiltrators for Space Marines that have a 12-inch deep strike null, it's almost impossible for your opponent, especially later in the game, to completely screen out 3 inches from every unit. So typically I like to use units like this to get at like a key character that doesn't have lone op hidden behind a wall or something like that, to get into a position to do an action and score one of my secondaries. Or in this case, with a melt-a-gun, you can drop in close to something important and make sure that you're within melt range for that extra damage. So these guys aren't going to be like amazingly killy, but they're going to be a key utility piece and something that's extremely important for the Astra Militarum. We've already seen how the Scions can drop in from the skies and do a decent amount of damage output where you need them, but obviously your opponent can screen them out accordingly. With these guys, it's going to be almost impossible to screen them out, and while they're not quite as high on the damage output, they're also a little bit cheaper, and the 3-inch drop is amazing. So then we also have a special ability from the Servo Sentry. When this unit is set up on the battlefield using a deep strike ability, the Tempestus Aquilon can shoot with its Sentry weapon. Its Sentry Flamer, Sentry Grenade Launcher, and Sentry Hotshot Valley Gun, as if it were your shooting phase. So essentially these guys are going to drop in from deep strike outside of 3 inches instead of outside the typical 9. You're going to get to shoot with the Servo Sentry right away, and then you're also going to have the option then in your shooting phase to shoot with the entire unit, including the Servo Sentry, a second time. So very, very cool. You basically get a double shoot with the Sentry Servo on the turn that it arrives from deep strike. So let's jump down here and take a look at our options, and then we'll look at what kind of equipment these guys should be equipped with. All right, so here's our options on the back of the datasheet card. We see that they're 90 points, which is pretty reasonable for 10 guys, 9 points per model. They only come in a squad of 10, so you're going to have the actual Tempestus Aquilon and then 9 Tempestus Aquilons. The Tempestus Aquilon is equipped with a Hotshot Las Carbine, Sentry Flamer, close combat weapon. Every Tempestus Aquilon is equipped with a Hotshot Las Carbine and close combat weapon. So the Tempestus Aquilon Sentry Flamer can be replaced with one of the following: Sentry Hotshot Volley Gun or Sentry Grenade Launcher. His Hotshot Las Carbine can replace with a Chainsword, Power Weapon, or a Las Pistol. And then the Aquilon can be equipped with one of the following: either a Bolt Pistol or Hotshot Las Pistol. So quite a few options for the sergeant of this squad, and then one Tempestus Aquilon's Hotshot Las Carbine can be replaced with one of the following: either a Melta Carbine or Plasma Carbine. And then one Tempestus Aquilon's Hotshot Las Carbine can replace with 2 Hotshot Las Pistols. One Tempestus Aquilon's Hotshot Las Carbine can replace with 1 Hotshot Long Las. And then up to 2 Tempestus Aquilons can each have their Hotshot Las Carbine replaced with 1 Hotshot Las Pistol. So then jumping back over here to check a look at the actual profiles. So realistically, you're going to equip the Sentry with one of your 3 options. You have either the Flamer, which is Ignores Cover Torrent, 12 inches, D6 plus 3 shots, Strength 4, AP 0, Damage 1. So just a mediocre Flamer. It is D6 plus 3 shots, so you're going to average like 6 or 7 shots with this thing. Keep in mind you're going to get to shoot with it twice on the turn that you arrive. So you're going to get about 13 shots with this, which isn't bad, but it's not particularly amazing. Then we have the Grenade Launcher, which is Frag or Crack profile. The Frag profile has Blast, D6 plus 3 shots, at Ballistic Seal 4, Strength 4, Damage 1. And then we have the Crack profile, 2 shots, hitting on 4s, Strength 9, AP 2, D3 damage. And then we have the Sentry Hotshot Volley Gun. So this is Rapid Fire 4, 30-inch range, which means when you drop in, you're going to get to take 8 shots with this bad boy, hitting on 4s, Strength 4, -1, 1 damage. So it does have the single point of AP, 8 shots, so you're probably going to hit with 4 of them. So overall, these things are about similar in output, depending on what you're shooting into. If you need something that cracks a little harder, the Grenade Launcher is probably going to be the way to go, as it gives you a little optionality. If you want the volume of fire, it's definitely a little bit of a toss-up between the Hotshot Valley Gun and the Sentry Flamer. The Flamer is going to get all those guaranteed hits but have no AP, as where the Hotshot Volley Gun is going to get slightly less hits but it has that 1 pip of AP. And then we have your basic Hotshot Las Carbine, Assault 18, 2 shots, hitting on 3s, Strength 3, -1, 1 damage. So this is going to be what the majority of the Aquilons are going to be armed with. Not a bad profile, but not exactly going to be like gunning down Space Marines. The Las Pistol is okay, but realistically, this is more going to be useful if you do end up in combat with the ability to shoot in combat, because it is a slightly worse profile than the Las Gun with half as many shots. And more realistically than not, the reason you have like the double pistol option and some of the other options in this unit is so that you can use your Kill Team models in 40k and have them actually equipped accordingly. And then we have your choice of either the Melta Carbine or the Plasma Carbine. So depending on what you're trying to do with these guys, the Melta Carbine is Assault Melta 2, 10-inch range, which means if you're within 5, you're going to get the extra 2 points of damage, which if you're dropping outside of 3 should not be an issue. It is 1 shot, hitting on 3s, Strength 9, -4, D6. So you're going to average like 3 to 8 damage with this. So usually about 5 or 6 damage against a key vehicle or character. And then we have the Plasma Carbine option. You have the standard Assault or Supercharge Assault Hazardous, 18-inch range. 2 shots hitting on 3 at Strength 7, -2, 1 damage, or if you are Supercharged, Strength 8, -3, 2 damage. So the damage output on these guys is not going to be amazing, but they're definitely going to be a really nice utility piece. Great for scoring something like behind enemy lines, assassinate, or finishing off a vehicle where necessary. Definitely a big fan of these guys. You also have the Chainsword, Close Combat Weapon, and Power Weapon options. None of them are particularly amazing, but if these guys are in combat, it's probably not by your own choice. And then as far as keywords are concerned, they do have infantry, which means they're going to be critting on 6s against other infantry because of the regiment keyword. You have regular grenades and then also the smoke grenades as well. So one really nice thing about these guys having grenades is that because normally you can't grenade when you come in from deep strike because you're going to be outside of the 8-inch requirement range. With these guys, you're actually able to drop in, throw some grenades because you can come in outside of 3 instead of outside of 9. So that's going to be really nice to get some mortal wounds on a key target. You also have the smoke ability, which not a lot of infantry has as a keyword, so you can potentially give them cover and -1 to hit. And then Militarum Tempestus and Tempestus Aquilons. So overall, I think this is a great unit, definitely a really nice utility piece. And I personally am definitely looking forward to not only painting these guys up as they look awesome, but also filling a nice gap in the Astra Militarum range. So very cool unit, definitely going to be seeing a lot of these guys on the table. Now a quick message from today's sponsor. CMO Games has been selling Games Workshop products online for over 20 years. They carry the full line of Games Workshop products, including Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar, Necromunda, Blood Bowl, paint tools, and more. Almost all Games Workshop products are priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games takes pre-orders for most Games Workshop products released at their earliest date possible. 12:01 a.m. on Saturday, they go live. Most of these pre-order products are also priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games offer free shipping in the US 48 with an order of $50 or more. Their customer service is top-notch and they ship most orders within 24 hours. Visit CMOGames.com using the affiliate link in the description and let them know that you heard about CMO Games from Warhammer Man. Now back to the video. And then jumping over to the Vespid Stingwings. So these already had a data sheet. We did see some slight changes right in line with what I was expecting. So they do move 12. They have toughness 4, save 4+, 1 wound each, leadership 7, and then OC 1. They have the deep strike keyword, and then they also have the airborne agility, which has been changed much more in line with what you see from like typical units with a similar ability. At the end of your opponent's turn, if this unit is not within engagement range of 1 or more enemy units, you can remove it from the battlefield and place it into strategic reserves. So previously this had like a similar ability, but it was kind of like an out of phase thing. Now they're much more in line with like your typical up-down rules, which is what I was expecting because Games Workshop does like to be consistent in this edition with like similar type abilities having the same rules, so it avoids confusion. So then war gear abilities, we have the Oversight Drone. Once per battle when the bearer's unit is selected to shoot until the end of the phase, ranged weapons equipped by models in the unit have the Ignores Cover ability. So pretty cool. Once per battle, you have the ability to Ignores Cover on the unit. And then moving down here to check out the options, you can either take these guys in a unit of 5 for 65 points or 10 for 130. And then it is worth note that if this unit contains 10 models, so if you take 5, you don't get any of the special abilities or equipment options, but if you take all 10, you're going to get 1 Vespid Strain Leader can be equipped with an Oversight Drone, 1 Vespid Stingwing can replace its Neutron Blaster with a Tau Flamer, 1 with a Neutron Grenade Launcher, and 1 with a Neutron Rail Rifle. So if you take a unit of 5, they're just going to have their basic profiles. If you take the unit of 10, you're going to get the drone and then 1 of each of the 3 special weapons. And then just checking out their actual profiles. Their melee profile is pretty lackluster, only 1 attack, hitting on 4s, strength 4, AP 1, damage 1. But these are much more of a utility piece. The Neutron Blaster is our main gun with Assault 18-inch range, 2 shots, Ballistic Skill 4, Strength 5 -2, 2 damage. So realistically, they're not a bad shooting profile. And then we also have the Neutron Grenade Launcher, Anti-Infantry 3-up, Blast, 18-inch range, D6 shots, hitting on 4, Strength 4, -1, 2 damage. We have the Neutron Rail Rifle, which has Devastating Wounds, 30-inch range, 1 shot, hitting on 4, Strength 10, -4, 3 damage. So pretty nice profile there, but with the limited number of shots, it's much more going to be like a single shot here and there, gets some lucky damage in. And then we also have the Tau Flamer, Ignores Cover Torrent, 12-inch range, D6 shots, Strength 4, AP 0, Damage 1. So realistically, they do have some cool little gun options, and definitely the 2 damage or 3 damage on their weapons is nice. But in all actuality, for the most part, you're going to be taking these in units of 5 without any of the special options and just using them as a cheap utility piece. They were already pretty good, but now they're extremely good. Again, a very core utility piece for scoring behind enemy lines, doing an action in a key area, or potentially even dropping in and assassinating a character. I don't think we're going to see a lot of these in units of 10 in Warhammer 40k. Even though you're basically just doubling the squad size and paying no like actual extra points per model, more realistically than not, the extra weapons that they get isn't really that important because you're going to want to have like 2 or 3 squads of these guys of 5 models each, rather than having like bigger squads that are actually doing something, trying to kill, etc. But again, I love the changes to the Vespid Stingwings, definitely in line with what we were expecting with the change to the airborne agility ability. So you're going to have your basic up-down rules on these guys. And at 65 points, I think definitely 2 or 3 squads of these is going to be an auto-include in most Tau Empire armies. So very cool new rules for these 2 new data sheets. Definitely some very nice utility pieces I expect to see in every Tau and Astra Militarum army. The models are absolutely amazing, and they both serve a really nice role, either slightly modified for the Vespid Stingwings or completely new for the Tempestus Aquilons. So let me know what you think of the new Hivestorm box set, what you think of the new 40k rules and points costs. Always like to hear back from you guys in the comments. And as always, special thanks to CMO Games for sponsoring the channel. Check out the link in the description to save 15% on most Games Workshop products. That's it for today. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man, and I'm out of here.